All right, happy Thursday evening. This is Alex with Sports Fan Outreach with our SFOI football 1000 SFOI 1000 football. Sorry, got a little tongue-tied update. And tonight, as you can see in the graphic there, we have a special guest. Brother Brian Ninde is going to be with us and share a little bit about his ministry and also the football games where he outreaches or preaches and passes out tracts and so forth, talks to people about the gospel. So we'll bring him on shortly, but just real quick, I want to give you a couple of announcements. We have, of course, football season is getting fired up. Preseason for NFL and college will be kicking off here closer to the end of the month. But Heath Pussell, he's going to be at Green Bay. Well, actually, I think Dan's going to be up there. I don't know if he's going to be at the game, but it's August 19th, and it'll be the Patriots in town with my boy Mike Jones there. Hopefully doing good. The kickoff there's at 7, so Dan will be at the where's he going to be? On Armed Forces Drive near Don Hudson Center around 4 or 4:15. So if you want to link up with Dan and pass out some tracts or do some evangelism, he'd be glad to have you, I'm sure. And you can get with me. I don't have his contact info right in front of me, but get with me and I can get that to you if you need it. And also tomorrow night, the Falcons have a preseason game down in Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Kickoff there is at 7:30. Brother Sterling Long will be leading that outreach. He will be there on the corner. If you're familiar, there's a corner real close to the MARTA station. He usually preaches right there. Easy to find. You can't miss him. He'd love to have you. Kickoff there, like I said, is 7:30, but he'll be there probably around 4:30. So go down and join Sterling. I've been down there with him before. I won't be at this game, but it's a good spot. It's a good spot, good time. Sterling's always a lot of fun to be around. He's a great guy. And we also have 4 college kickoff games coming up. We got at Mercedes-Benz Stadium again on September 1st. We have the Chick-fil-A kickoff game, which is going to be led by Doug Rentz. And that's going to be Louisville Cardinals versus Georgia Tech. Believe it or not, this year, usually it's someone like University of Georgia, Alabama or somebody, but this year it's Georgia Tech. So that's good. Kickoff there is 7:30. So ministry should start around 4:30 as well. Down there in Nissan Stadium in Nashville is hosting Virginia and Tennessee on September 2nd. Brother John Coble's leading that outreach, so I can get you his contact info as well. And then there's a Camping World kickoff game in Orlando. That's LSU, and I can't remember the other team. I apologize. But John Crowley will be leading that, and that's on September 3rd. And then finally, we have the Dukes Mayo in Charlotte. It's September 2nd, and Mike Andrews is going to be leading that outreach. And if you look on the Sports Fan Outreach YouTube page or on my YouTube page or Facebook, you will see, I think we've got a video up of him giving some information about that. So go check that out. Hopefully we'll have some more videos up about the other 3 games as well at some point in time. That's kind of where we're at. It's getting fired up, so we look forward to football season. It's always fun. We love the crisp fall air. Of course, it cools off a little here in Georgia, and we've had a very hot summer, so we're looking forward to that. But we also get excited because we get to present the gospel to thousands, literally thousands of people in a couple hours, just out passing out tracts, preaching, whatever. And so we get excited about that, and we get excited because we have some 30-plus committed evangelists so far this year to preach at home football games, looking for more. So if you're interested or something you'd like to get involved with or check out, just let me know, and we'd be glad to help you out and get you going in the right direction. And so that's the update kind of for this week. We'll get more into the specific games and who's going to be where as we get closer to the beginning of the football season. But be in prayer. If you can't join or have other things going on or something, just please be praying for this outreach. It's a nationwide effort, and it's on any given Saturday and Sunday, there's going to be thousands of people impacted with the gospel. And so that's something at least to pray about, get excited about. So if you can't join us, just support us in prayer. We'd greatly appreciate that. And without further ado, I'm going to get Mr. Brian to come on here and tell us a little bit about his ministry and what he does, and then we'll talk about the Colts football outreach a little bit. So give me just a second, and I will see if I can get him on. There he is.
Hey.
Hi, Brother Brian. How you doing?
Good, Alex. How are you, brother? You doing all right?
I'm good. I appreciate you taking the time. I know you had a busy afternoon and coming on here with me to share a little bit.
It's all good. When I get a coach grandson little league football and get that going again, that's kind of fun. So I like doing second grade little league football.
Yeah, you can't beat that, man. It's like herding cats, right?
Oh man, if they could just remember where to line up.
I remember helping my daughter. She played t-ball when she was little. I helped coach that team, and that was just like finally I just gave up and said, "Y'all just do whatever."
Yep, yep. Oh man,
Yes,
but it's
that's
fun.
good stuff. That's good
It's
stuff. So you live up in Indy,
yeah,
and I
north
just
side
want
of
to let you share a little
Indianapolis.
bit about your ministry, and then we'll talk about football a little bit.
Yeah, good man. Yeah, living up here in North Side, Westfield, a suburb of Indianapolis. Been here about 20 some years, 25 now. Yeah, part of a ministry called Hearts for the Lost. Main ministry that we do. We'll go to any church in the country and train on biblical evangelism. A lot of us have been trained up by Ray Comfort, way of the master, using the law first, right, and then the gospel. But we've just man, we've been all over the United States actually. Just in Buffalo not too long ago. Faithful Stones Church up there, and Indianapolis, and have done a few events. But yeah, we just love teaching and talking about. And then what we do it's a little bit different. We'll come in and train a church, but then we'll also take them out and show them how to do it or do it with them out in their local marketplace. So a lot of head knowledge in the morning, and then practical application in the afternoon. So
Cool.
yeah, we're just passionate about the gospel and getting people to the next level, whatever that is, and sharing their faith biblically, wherever God's placed them, right? And then from that ministry, dear brother of mine, Jimmy De Los Santos, he and I went to Ray Comfort together in 2018. Well, we teamed up and started a podcast called Hearts for the Lost, podcast. And we've been doing about 38 different episodes now. Just had Mark Spence from Living Waters a couple of episodes ago. Just that we're just staying in our lane, man. We're just talking about evangelism, different cults, different fears that people have, different reasons why they don't. We're just trying to break down and talk, let other people talk about other topics. We're going to stay in the evangelism lane
There you
and
go.
do that, and doing
Yeah.
about two episodes a month. And praise the Lord, we're I think we hit 34 different countries we've been downloaded in, and like 953 cities, different cities. So the Lord's taking it wide. We're just trying to keep it and going deep, and doing what we do. But one of the things in the ministry, Alex, that I just had a burden is we go to these churches and we'll do an event to get them all fired up, and then we leave and come home. So I was like, we were talking as a team, and one of the visions I'd like to do is try to help a church, not just do an event to get people fired up, but how could we help them plant an evangelism ministry at their local church, right?
Okay.
Well, I thought, well, that'd be cool, but Brian, you haven't planted an evangelism ministry at your local church. So talked with my pastors and elders about May, actually a little earlier than March, and they endorsed an evangelism ministry at Cornerstone Bible Church, my home
Awesome.
church here in Westfield. We got a team put together. We've had training. We've had evangelism one-on-one classes, getting the people fired up to share their faith, again, whether it be in their neighborhoods, with their family, at work, at school for the kids, or big events like football games or parades wherever we go. So
Cool.
really building a blueprint for how to start and train up and equip the local church to then go. So now once that blueprint's ready, hopefully by next year, then when we go to a church and say, hey, Alex, your church, say you're a pastor, we can do this event for you, but we can also help pour into a couple leaders for you, maybe work with them for 6 months, plant an evangelism ministry at your church. That's really the bigger
Awesome.
play and prayer
Yeah.
request is I just think there's a need for that. And it's just, man, we've had 2 classes at our church. One for the adults was about 53 people showed up for that. And then we, our children or student ministries, we just did this last Sunday, had 107 kids from 6th grade to high school, just the gospel, and they're going to school. Actually, today was their first day and just sharing the gospel in their school. So we're fired up, excited. And again, it's just all about teaching, training, and doing evangelism in your local marketplace.
Do you find that doing that it kind of with some people, and this is not a shot at people by no means, just human nature, that they kind of get excited, kind of like you go to a conference, you get excited, and then it kind of slowly wears off, and you're kind of like the way you were. Is that the way evangelism kind of is too? You find?
Sometimes, yeah, you get them all fired up, and then yeah, how can you keep it and sustain it? And I think Bill, when I first started doing the Colts, he said one of the key things you want to do is be consistent. Just be consistent, try to stay in the same corner or the same place, and just consistency, and the people will see you. And it happened, man. I was at the LBG2, whatever, the alphabet parade, and this was in June, right? And there was a group of police officers right at the corner we were going to do our preaching at. So I just went up there and said, hey, we're going to set up. I got a microphone. Want to make sure we're okay where we're at. And he goes, I'm the squad commander. I see you at Colts games. You're good. Just do what you do. And he rode off. Like,
yeah.
Right. So it's like just consistency really helps breed, just presence and that. But I think it's just going. And if you put dates on the calendars and Colts games or whatever events, it tends not just to, hey, maybe this Saturday we'll do something. No, we've got a date on the calendar, get a commitment, and let's go do it. So
I find with myself too, it's good. Even I've been doing this for years now. We were talking earlier, but even now it's so easy to find a reason not to go. And one thing I love about being involved in SFOI 1000, number one, I'm the chairman, so I got to set an example. I've always, been like, I'm not going to ask you to do something I'm not doing, kind of thing. And number two, it's made me accountable because it's like a thing. I'm going to go do this, and if I don't get to, life happens, things happen. If I don't get to it, just drives me batty. It's like, it's just, because it's that consistency, like you say. I just want to be there, game after game. We try to go to one away game too every year, just to kind of let the Georgia fans see us somewhere else too.
That's good. Let
them know we really love them.
Yep. Yeah. They all need prayer, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's awesome ministry, man. I like that. That's great. No, it's great that you're focused in on what your passion is, but you've got it covering a lot of ground, different ways.
Well, and it's like I'm not getting any younger, and I want to raise up the next level, and next generation of evangelists, and I'm really a big believer in and through our local church, and have our pastors. I mean, Saturday is our first preseason game for the Colts, and I've got 17 folks lined up to go down there with me from our church. Awesome. So, like you said before, about 12 will come, but something will come up. No, I'm kidding. But 17. But one of our pastors, lead pastors, is actually going to come down. He wanted to see what we're doing. I've got a couple elders coming down as well, a couple ministry leaders. So it's just really cool to get them involved to see again, because man, it like I know it. When you tell people, I'm a street evangelist, we hear it all the time. Oh, you're one of those. Or their first thought is you're one of them crazy people that scream at people. They have all those Indy 500 guys and, with the big signs and the bullhorns and screaming at them. And I'm like, so that's first of all, come down and see that we don't do that. But the fact that we're starting to get traction with a lot of people coming down, and just, again, I've set it up too that people can come down and do multiple roles, right? If you just want to come down, you want to stand on the corner and just pray for us, man, that would be awesome. You don't have to talk to anybody. You don't have to do anything. Just come see what it's about and just pray. Two, if you'd want to maybe hand out a tract or hold a gospel sign, something a little less confrontive or combative, you can do that. If you want to, I'm going to be doing some interviews down there with people. If you want to hold the camera and just listen, you can do that. If you maybe want to get into a conversation, but have maybe an advanced guy with you, and you can tap them like a wrestler. All right, tap. I got lost. Come in. Or if you want to go rogue and go do it. So we've got multiple roles for different folks to make sure that we want to kind of find out where they are, and then maybe encourage them to take that next step.
Yeah. So you don't say if you come out you got to preach.
No.
You let them come out. That's
good.
Now
what I will do though, like this young kid Heath, who's on our team now, and a guy I'm really pouring into, he was a little shy, and I said, okay, just read John 3. Just read maybe verses 1 through 20, whatever. Just pick some verses, just get up on the microphone and just read. And the first year, man, it was like, could you turn the volume up? Could you give me a little something? Now the dude's out there like Whitfield or Spurgeon, man. He's just like booming, preaching the gospel. It's in 3 years to see him grow. But man, or take a good gospel track and just read it, right? Yeah. Just do something, then work your way into expository preaching. I'll get him to Heath Putzel's class. We'll do a little finger in the text. We'll teach you how to put a sermon together, and we'll work them through and get the curriculum going. But just trying to find out where they are, where they feel comfortable, and then stretch them a little bit.
There you go. Right. All right. Well, listen, I guess we're talking a little bit about football. That's what this is supposed to be about. But that's right. I enjoy hearing about your mission, man. It's awesome, and hear your passion. It's great. So you go. How long you been going to the Colts games now?
This will be season 4.
Okay.
Yeah, we started COVID year. So I think the Colts were only one of 5 stadiums that were even open.
Okay.
We had like 16,000 or 12,500, I think it was. So got a lot of practice to preach to nobody or very little people that first year. So kind of was the good entry point. But yeah, no, just been doing. Have not missed, Lord willing, haven't missed a game. I don't plan on to. We've had pretty nice weather for the most part. I mean, December, January gets really cold. I mean, we've had some single digit games, but yeah, man, just trying to bring different people down. Whoever will come down with me. We've had some good folks, and had some coaching moments as well.
Yeah.
Trying to get some other guys, but yeah, I've been doing it 4 years, and the good thing is, like Bill had told me, you actually told me too early on. It's not just about the fans. Although you got 65,000 fans coming, you got ticket people, you've got security guards, you've got people banging drums trying to make money. We even had a kid down there selling candy bars for his youth football team that then after the first time we prayed with him, he kept coming back to us, man, giving us high fives. He wanted a Bible, so we got him a Bible, really just pouring. So it's just way more than just the fans. It's like the whole experience of everyone down there, and they know. And now when they come, season ticket holders come the next year, like, hey, we got your track from last year. I'm like, cool, we got new ones. Here we go, and here's the next one. Give it away. So yeah, it's just cool, the relationship build as we go. And we've named it apropos Amen Corner, and actually my wife got me a Amen Corner sign that we hang up every time we're there on the light pole. So it's becoming like the spot. It's
cool.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, finding that sweet spot is good. We're blessed here in Georgia. I say it all the time. I know there's other good stadiums too. We guys are giving us a great spot. So, and I see the same thing. People, been doing it so many years now that we know people, and if we didn't show up, they'd probably call and see if we was okay. Maybe some of them might be glad. I don't know. I'm sure.
Yeah.
but yeah, the atmosphere is good.
I'm sorry I cut you off, man, but I was downtown doing something else in the off season, and a guy came up and said, "Oh, you're the guy down at the Colts game." That's so it just works both ways. But again, just the consistency of being in the same spot. And a lot of people say, "Well, what do you do down there?" I'm like, I don't know till I get there, right? It's like Jesus said, "Go be fishers of men." What do fishermen have? They have different bait. They got a tackle box, right? Depends on what's catching that day. Sometimes we're just handing out tracts. Sometimes we get up and we do preach, right? We'll do sometimes a good person test. We'll get some surveys doing with the whiteboard. We're gonna try the whiteboard. Bobby McCreary's got me inspired to do the whiteboard. I keep seeing good posts from you guys down south doing that. So we're gonna do a survey whiteboard. We've got riddles. Again, we customize these tracks. I don't know if you can see this or not. I don't know if it comes out, but it's Colts, but COLT is Christ only liberates the sinner. And then obviously on the back we got the gospel. They take them like crazy. And so what's this? Well, it's the gospel on the back. And but we we'll do specialized tracks. We'll do preaching almost all day, but typically in a 3-hour pregame, the first hour people are kind of meandering around, taking pictures of the stadium. You can get in some good convos. Hour 2, they're speeding up a bit. Hour 3, it's just preaching, and they're just going to fly on by. So it's just kind of really that's the chapters of the day. But we just have fun with people, talk the gospel.
It is a little different, and I think it's important to know your audience, for lack of a better word. Just this preaching at the ball games is different than preaching down in a bar district or on a college campus maybe or something. But yeah, it's all the same. So what do you do? And I guess I struggle with this sometimes is the vetting process, because you want to protect the ministry. You don't want we're already assumed to be one of the crazies, if you will. So how do you personally with your ministry vet people out as far as that goes? Yeah,
we definitely have a conversation before they get the mic. I want to find out, I'm not a strict reformer, right? But I want to find out where they're at in the reform scale. If Calvin's a 10 or Arminian's a 1, give me where you're at. And give me, and then preach the gospel to me. I want to hear what you're going to preach. But most 90, I mean, if I don't know them well and have done ministry with them, they're not getting on the mic with me.
Yeah.
That's number one. If they want to hand out tracts, but I would say 95% of the folks we've either done ministry with before, they're from my local church, or we've done events like the Hearts for Lost events have gone about 4 or 5 churches here in Indianapolis. So a lot of relationships forged there. Yeah. So that's that's really a lot of vetting out beforehand. I haven't gone. I mean, Michael Coughlin does a great job, and I tried to steal his. He has a form they sign, and his is a little bit more formal. And I now that we're getting bigger, I'm going to definitely think about doing that a little bit more. You know, managing 4 is different than managing 17 tomorrow night or Saturday night. So, yeah, most everybody I know really well. And there was one that slipped in one time about 2 years ago. We shut it down pretty quickly and had a conversation and just said that's just not what we espouse here, you know.
Yeah.
And even at the at the gay pride parade, whatever, we're not there really to talk about that sin specifically. We're talking about sin in general. But we just don't want to be the Westboro Baptist guys, and none of us do. But definitely don't want to soften the gospel either, right? So
Exactly. Right.
I think Alistair Begg had a great sermon and basically just said, as Christians, we can't hate them, but then we can't also affirm them. So we got to kind of land in that middle of not hating them, loving you enough to tell you the truth, but I can't affirm your lifestyle either.
Right. Cool. Awesome. All right. Well, I won't keep you much longer. I had a question in my head and it just left me. Old age moment.
That's all right. That's all right. Well, one of the things that is, you talk about things getting in the way of people coming down, and you're going to have those. I mean, there's not a day when, this week I'm so pumped for Saturday, but I know Saturday morning, something in my flesh is going to be like, oh, not today. I don't feel like it. Maybe I don't want to go down. No one's going to listen. You have all these fleshy, heady things. You just got to, step into it, show up and just, be willing to be the fool, be willing to just be that guy and speak truth into someone's life. And it will. Of all the times I didn't want to go down because of one thing or another, too cold, rainy, whatever, but I've never once driven home going, I wish I wasn't there today. Not once.
Yeah.
It's always pays off.
Same. Yep. Same. It's that's like every year before we go like to the Super Bowl outreach or something, about a day or two before. Apparently I do this all the time when I'm going somewhere like that. My wife has to tell me just shut up. Because it's like I get homesick before I leave, I guess. I'm a homebody kind of. And it's like, man, I don't want to go do this. She's like, just be quiet. You say it every time.
Just go. Just go.
Just get out of here.
Right. Because even, I mean, the beauty is, let's just say we don't really connect with anyone that day, right? But the beauty of being there with a team, whether it be the Super Bowl outreach or a group going down to the stadium with you, man, just the discipleship and fellowship that breeds right there is something that you just can't make up, man. A coffee shop just ain't gonna do it. So just going together, it's almost like that old football day or team when you got a team, you kind of bond. But then you step into that and start preaching the truth, and you'll have some conversations one way or the other.
But might be nice ones. You'll have some. Regardless.
Yep.
All right, so I'll let you tell us how people can get in touch with you. I know you got 17 folks going, but you'll take some more, right? If they show up.
Yeah, it's a big stadium, man. We got plenty of corners. But yeah, I mean, on Twitter, I'm at B and then Ninde, Ninde. You can also find me at Brian Ninde on Facebook, heartsforlost.com. You can go on there and put a contact in and reach me that way. But yeah, if you want to go to a Colts game and I don't know you, get a hold of me way before Saturday or Sunday, so we can talk through where you're at and all that, just to make sure, and we'll get through all that. But yeah, just reach out. We try to meet at our church. We're about 35 minutes away, and we'll kind of group up in cars and then drive down there and park together, because parking is not the easiest downtown. We'll park, find some place to park, go get set up and see what happens, see what God has in store for the day. He's always got something. All
right. Praise the Lord, brother. All right. I look forward to hearing more about your ministry, what's going on with you and stuff. And one day, you never know, we might be on the street together.
I'd love to, man. Maybe. That'd be awesome.
I'm telling Bill, I'd love to go to all these different states where you have guys preaching at least once, but I'm thinking, okay, that's not happening right now.
Definitely think about this next year. The NBA All-Star Game is going to be in Indianapolis in February 24. So I'm going to try to put together a little, maybe 10, 12 person team to come up for the weekend for that. So keep that kind of in the back of your mind.
All right, we'll do. My thing is of course I got a job still, but like January, I try to go to the college football championship. Then 4 weeks later, I'm going to the Super Bowl. And where I work, we all take vacation at the same time, so I have to get extra time off.
Gotcha.
Which my boss, he's a believer, and he allows me to do so. So I don't want to take advantage of that too much and abuse it.
I get it.
But I would love to come, but that might be a little too close to Super Bowl.
Okay.
Say, I'm out of here again. But yeah, retirement's not that far off, hopefully. So
we're getting closer. I am as well.
You never know. All right, brother, I'll let you go. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming on. And
thank you.
I'll be talking to you soon, I'm sure.
All right, Alex. God bless you, bro. Thank you.
God bless you. All right, folks, there you have it. Mr. Brian Ninde up in Indianapolis. I got a great ministry going on there. Certainly if you want to come to a Colts game, he's willing to equip you, train you, disciple you, and get you headed in the right direction. But if your church needs some help learning how to evangelize and putting a team together, there's a great resource right there. Just contact him. If you, I should have his information on screen. I don't. I apologize if you can't find him. Just get with me, and I can get you in touch with him or Bill, either one. But yeah, great opportunities for your church to learn how to evangelize. Which this is not a bash on brothers and sisters of the church, but I think a lot of it is just don't know what to do and how to do. And it's as Ray Comfort says, the fear of man keeps you from going out, because all of us, we want to be liked. And we know that evangelism is confrontational, and even more so, it seems, in our culture, as things seem to be getting darker in appearance anyway. And so it's hard. It's hard to get out of your comfort zone to go out there and to confront someone, even with love, because we do love people, and we're like Brian was saying, we're not Westboro. We don't want to be like that, but we do speak the truth. And the truth is that we're all dead in our sin without Jesus, and we all need a Savior. And so the most loving thing we can do is to tell people about this wonderful Savior. And so I was telling Brian earlier, I was just listening to an audio version of Ray Comfort's book, God Has a Wonderful Plan for Your Life. If you've never read it, I encourage you to do so. If you've never listened to Hell's Best Kept Secret, I really encourage you to do that, because that's the audio, the sermon that most of us, not most of us, but a lot of us heard first off. And Ray God used Ray, I think, to mess up our normal bench setting Christian lives. I know he did mine. And I'm so thankful for him and the impact he's had on my life. So get with those resources. Listen to Ray Comfort, and he will inspire you and encourage you. And he has an academy. You can actually go out there a couple times a year. I think they do it now, and train you there. But then you got this option of Brian coming to your church and training your church to do evangelism. So there's resources. And as he mentioned earlier too, Heath Pussell, who teaches Keep Your Finger in the Text. It's a sermon preparation class, and it's awesome. It's a great help. It's a place of encouragement. It's not like it's not like going to school. It's not where you go in there and you get hammered and bashed and get your grades marked up and all that kind of stuff. It's just loving cooperation and encouragement and comments and stuff. But you just have to go in. You just have to go do it just to see what it's like. But you'll love it. It's great for you. It's a great experience. And Heath's a great teacher. Very, very kind and supportive, and a gracious man. So you'll greatly enjoy that, I know. But we're here to help you. Bill Adams, he's the head cheese, I guess you could call him, here at Sports Fan Outreach. And he gets all of us together, and we go do things together. He encourages us to go out and puts us in charge of different things. Like I'm here to get people to go to football games and coordinate all this. And I have some other guys helping me out with that too. And so it's a big organization. They do a lot of things. He goes to London. He's been to Mexico some. I think he may be going to Africa soon. He may be at the Grey Cup right now in Canada, if that's this weekend. I can't remember. But Sports Fan Outreach has got a wide reach. And, of course, we're trying to grow the football outreach. There's 150-something, I think, college stadiums. I believe we count 120, 150. And, of course, there's 30-some-odd NFL stadiums. And we would love – our goal is to have the gospel preached at every one of these stadiums at their home games, obviously. But it's a big goal. It certainly is, but it can be done. And we're over this year, we're going to grow. Last year, we had some 33 stadiums, I think, covered. Right now, I'm sitting about 34. So come on board and let us help you out. And you can get equipped. Like I say, Heath's class, if you need tracks, we can help you with that. There's just a plethora, if that's a word, of wisdom in SFOI. There's so many evangelists that I've got to know through this and connected with and learned so much from them. And just going to an event, we were talking about fellowship a little earlier, going to an event like the Super Bowl outreach where there's 100 evangelists coming together from all over the country. And you get together and you can just hang out in fellowship and learn from these men and get encouraged. And it's a great thing. So I encourage you to get involved. Don't be a Lone Ranger. God didn't call us to be Lone Rangers. He called us to be in fellowship with each other and to work together and help each other. So get on board, get in touch with us, and we'll get you connected and get you going. And if you're in the Athens, Georgia area and want to get involved, certainly get with me, and we'll talk about getting you down to a UGA game. Of course, we'll be like Brown was saying with his ministry, we'll have a conversation, everything, make sure where everybody's at, so we all know what's going on there and what we expect out of each other. But I'll quit rambling now about things. But it's been a pleasure talking to you folks tonight. Thanks for joining us. I just hope and pray you just get out and get the gospel to people. One last thing I'll tell you, I saw a thing today where a guy said to his he had a friend or uncle or something that ate one M&M a year, and the reason he did is he put the average life expectancy, I guess, is 76 in the U.S. So you take 76 M&Ms or you subtract your age and you put it in the jar. And I'm 59, so you can do the math and figure out how many M&Ms I'd have in my jar. And every year you eat one, you can have a visual aid of seeing on average how much life you might just have left. So it's not, life is but a vapor. So let's get at the Father's business and let's build the kingdom. Let's be kingdom builders, not just self builders or self wealth builders or all that stuff. Let's build God's kingdom for something that's eternal, that matters. But with that, I will wish you well and encourage you to get out there and preach the gospel until all hear. God bless.